Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, we're on Nicoletti along with Brian Nano. Of course, Samantha will be joining us a little later on. Brian, this is getting on my nerves a little bit, this weather. You know what I mean? We just can't shake this rain.
No, I got stuck here last night. I
Good.
was here afterwards in the office. I got stuck here for a little bit because it just keeps raining, and it is what it is. So we're off the turf again. You saw it come down hard mid-card yesterday when we tried to fight the good fight. So it is what it is. The main track is sealed right now. It says fast, so I think we'll open it up by post time, which is, of course, 57 minutes away. But we're off the turf. It stinks. It is what it is, Ron.
Yeah, it is what it is, but we got a pretty good card nonetheless, and we'll take a look at it. We'll start with race number 1 today. By the way, $100,000 I guesstimate in the Rainbow Six today, and I think we had no winners at all yesterday. They were all 5 out of 6.
They were done even after Hall and Ice,
Right.
one of the favorites in the Princess Rooney, won. Nobody. There was one ticket going into the Princess Rooney. Clearly, they didn't have Hall and Ice, and that was it. It does. I said, count on two hands the amount of times that happens over the course of a racing year.
Yeah, 5 out of 6. I hope you checked your tickets yesterday. If you were alive, that's what, paying 5. It doesn't happen, as Brian said, very often. So getting to this first race now, 5.5 furlongs. Brian mentioned fast track. It looks like they'll open it up if we don't get any rain this morning. And, this place, even if we get a little rain, when track dries out so fast, they do a good job. First race, 5.5 furlongs. Their claim is 3 and upward, which you've never won to. Going to scratch the inside horse, Divo D'Oro, and we have a early pick 5 ticket from Brian.
Yeah, big scratch and Divo D'Oro. Too deep here for me. Single, skipping stars in race number 2. The spread is in race number 3. The top pick there is the 8, and that is White Claw Woman, but with obviously very little conviction. Race number 4, I've got the 6 on top. She's high maintenance. In race number 5, off the turf there, Ibrahimovic on top for Kent Sweezy. Good to see that barn back in the entries. We'll see a lot more of that name going forward.
Got Todd Pletcher there. Approach, that was my long shot on the grass. I think that horse still has a chance to maybe do something on the Tapeta this afternoon. And if you noticed, Todd's horse, well, we'll talk about it later, but Todd's horses have all come here running.
Yeah, well, he is a Hall of Famer, so I couldn't agree more. Had that filly win the maiden race over the Colts the other day, so Hall of
So is
Famer.
Javier Castellano. He's a Hall of Famer.
You don't think I know that?
Yeah. All right, so you and I both have the two. We got a replay. We want to show you Mighty Murphy along with Moral Agency. Maybe this will help you make your mind.
So it looks like somebody plucked down $2,000 to win on the 3. If you look at this pool, that's why you're looking at a 1-9 shot right now. But Mighty Murphy, I always had this horse on top anyway, Ronnie.
Me
Why?
too.
Yeah, the speed. I mean, that's it right there. Drops to the 8 level last time and runs a huge race. Well clear. Moral Agency's doing his thing. He's going to pick up pieces late. He can't win. He never gets there. But down on the inside, Mighty Murphy doing all the hard work there. And you kind of look right here and say, oh, maybe that's about it for old Mighty Murph. But no, because Bullet Blues at odds on is going to win this race. But Mighty Murphy doesn't want to give it up. He sheds the 44 there, who was 4-1. And he runs a big race. In that race right here today, Ron, that would win this race. Does he come back from it and regress a little bit? It's possible. But boy, oh boy, he looks like the controlling speed to me in here. And that's why, because you don't see any speed from Cajun's Cooking.
Yeah, and that's 6. Today it's 5.5. You factor that into the. Now, Cajun's Cooking, we both have some interest in this horse. We'll go with Cajun's Cooking next. And Cajun's Cooking, the one that's taking all the money right now, is going to try the main track again after coming within the neck of notching his 2-life condition, going 5.5 on the Tapeta. Are they trying to tell us something today?
Well, I don't know. These connections are so crafty, and they like to support their horses for sure. I will say this. The one dirt race that shows on his form, so much better. Coldstream and Mohawk River. With that being said, he was beaten 7 lengths by them. We're gonna show you the lightning round. We're going to talk about racing flow, meaning what happens early can really directly impact what happens late. Well, it's right there in front of you. Mighty Murphy's getting in the front here, and Cajun's Cooking doesn't have a lot of early speed. And to me, he just runs out of room in here, Ron.
2, 3, maybe you throw the 5 in there. El Mayo, grab a little bit of a share for it. Scott Acker, I must have set my selections up. That was supposed to be my 4th pick, but It's 2 or 3.
2 or 3, I think so.
It's 2 or 3. Now, you mentioned the second race this afternoon, originally scheduled for 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Now to be run at 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. Now, these are state-bred 2-year-olds. We're going to scratch the 2, the 4, the 5, and the number 6. So we're dealing with a 5-horse field. And I don't know if you always had the one on top, Brian. I think I did.
I did.
Myself.
Yeah. We can show Samantha's TT Pick 3. It's a Tapeta Pick 3. $3 base wager, 15% takeout, and it's still a great bet, I promise you. She's singling the 1 in race number 5. She goes 4 deep, so that's her spread race, and I don't really blame her there. That race was tricky on turf. It's trickier on Tapeta. In the last turf race, which would have been the last turf race, is actually the 9th today. And, of course, off the turf onto the Tapeta. And she's got 1-6, and I think Air to the Roar and Lido Beach are the ones now on the surface switch.
Pop Style come out of a monster. Monster key race. So we'll talk about that a little later on there. Skipping Stars, it looks like, the one in here, stretching out, going to try the Tapeta today.
Yeah, so this horse outfielder that won this race was odds-on debut for Wesley Ward, an absolute buzzsaw. He actually brought her over. She was fourth. He was fourth in the Grade 1 pre-morning over at Deauville. So that's a big-time horse right there. And now he wasn't close to him. He saw his tail the whole time. Mm-hmm. Good effort. The fact that Jose had him at Churchill Downs, I think, says a lot. If you want to nitpick a little bit, this is not a 2-turn pedigree at all by a sprint champion in Matoli out of a mare that's by The Factor, who was a very fringe 2-turn horse back in the day for Bob Baffert and was a much better 1-turn horse. But, watered down field here, I think Skipping Stars will be tough.
Yeah, and you always want to, you hope that you have a way of knowing if a horse runs well on the turf, it's going to run well on the Tapeta. That was what was said before we started running on Tapeta. That is not the case. And the reason I'm saying it, I'm bringing in the 9 here, so cross traffic, a really good second going a mile on the grass today. They took the they didn't take the blinkers off. They ran well. What happens on the Tapeta today?
Well, it's a guess, but he's got a few different things going for him. He's got an experience edge on Skipping Stars. He's got a much better post. He's drawn outside of him. He's got a much better pedigree for a route of ground, too. He's by cross traffic out of a Kentucky Derby and Florida Derby winning sire, Big Brown, on the bottom of this pedigree. So he's going to theoretically like it more than the 1.
Did you want to show you pick 4? Or you just
no, we'll just run that
around. Okay, race number 3 this afternoon is going to be 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. It's claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And we did have a scratch in here of the number 5, Miss Serafina. And in the 3rd race, Brian, you got, so do I, White Claw Woman on top.
Yeah, to be honest, Ron, I wish I'd gone a different way just because she's going to be a short number. And, she could be a little vulnerable. But with that being said, first time in the Barboza barn, a little bit of a freshening. Good post, a little bit of a class drop as well. Garuda's pretty good for Debona, so she is, to me, clearly the horse to beat. Victor, 25% with newcomers into the barn, so she's probably, these races might be good enough anyway, and you kind of figure you're going to get better from her today.
21% with that type of layoff, too, coming off the bench there. But let's show the video of Plum Irish in here. Carlos David's horse, who's stepping up to face winners today.
Off the claim and with blinkers on last time, and she drubs a maiden claiming field for a quarter. And this was a good effort. She just basically led every step of the way. But you look at the running line, and you see, she had to really earn it once she hit entering the far turn, and she kicks clear and wins easily. 7-1 that day. She was the other Carlos David in that race because her stablemate was about 7 or 8-5 in there. And this is a good effort, Ron, and she's got a lot of speed.
And, I like the fact that they put her in for 17.5. Mm-hmm. They claimed her for 17.5. They went for 25. They put her where she belongs again, which is very important. We'll see how that plays out. And then you got the number 4 horse in here, and that is Blonde Jack. And Blonde Jack, is dropping to this level. Pair of so Tapeta sprints at the 25 level. I think she fits in this number as a 2 spot, maybe.
Hey, Danny and Donna Hertak just keep on keeping on. So you got to give the second look here to Blonde Jack, who's got races that work here, and she's also dropping in class too.
We're going to flip the page and go to race number 4, 7-furlong sprint. And if you're just joining us, main track now is listed as fast. We'll let you know. Pete will let you know what's going on as he changes throughout the day. This is a starter optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up with Brian. A field of 7. I just think this is a pretty good race where, you go, oh, let's hear about the 6. I didn't use this one. She's high maintenance.
Well, she comes in off an easy 2L win last time. And St. Olaf Rose, we're going to show you that race that they all come out of. And I just wonder if maybe she's the now horse, Ronnie. Those horses, you see, well, here's the St. Olaf Rose race, okay? Blanket finish. It was in the slop. It was also at 6.5. So I think St. Olaf Rose and certainly Sea Art, they're separated by a neck. They're both going to like the additional half furlong they get today. St. Olaf Rose, we talked about Frank Regalbuto yesterday. This barn, he's done such a good job, and he has done such a good job with this daughter of Golden Sense, a 2-time Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile winner. She wants to beat you. She was never going to win here, and she darn gets up in time. She's got a lot of heart and a lot of fight to her. This was a slower race than her fast races on the main track were. If we have dry land or drier track out there, it might flatter her even more. Listen, the race clearly goes through her.
Right.
I felt like her margin for error is a scant one. They're going to bet CR. She's got a big chance. She's high maintenance. I think it's going to be the best price of the 3.
What'd you do with your middle pick 4?
Take a look at it now. Thank you. $30 for me, $36. It's not an easy sequence. I have no singles. It's very rare that I don't do that. And you can see this race here. I'm going 5-6. C Art's a big player in there. Race 5, I'm with the 7, excuse me. We already talked about that. Race number 6, that's the new race. I'll come back with Amari Control, but don't sleep on Vallesta, who runs hard every time for Willoughby Simpson, and she'll be closing. And in race number 7, I think this is a race that really could make it, and I'm on the 5, the firster. There's 3 firsters in there. That could be good. I'm on the 5, Laguna. Cone, Team Cone, and Jonathan Acasio. How can you go against that duo?
I'm going to give you a little homework. We'll show the workout with Zany, with 8 Zany. And so that's it for race number 4. Anything, maybe you throw the 7 in there, Violence and Peace on the outside. I just thought this horse comes, wins, they claim it, goes back, and wins like a monster in its next race.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is when we had to cancel those last 4 races on the card, she was in one of those races for 12.5.
Wow.
Had to cancel that race. They didn't bring it back. They brought it back for a quarter. Oscar Gonzalez says, I got no problems with that either.
Right.
And she blasts him for a quarter. So she could be dangerous, Ron.
And you got Nedgard Zayas going to get that outside post in race number 4. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket. As we mentioned at the top, they're estimating $100,000 in the pool today. So we'll be right back.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, and it's Ron, and it is Brian, and it's race number 5, and it's off the turf to be run at 1 mile and 70 yards. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. Going to scratch the number 8, the RZA, and please note that the number 3, Dream Dancer, is now listed as a gelding. I will show you my ticket here right away, and I think it's $57.60. As Brian mentioned, there's no easy. I had no singles today, so very rare for me too. 5th race wide open in here. I'm going to talk about Reproach, the number 9. That was my long shot We'll talk about that race. Race number 6, just too deep for me. Our MOE Control and the Happy Ride, I thought, ran really well. In race number 7, I'm going to go with my Miss Mo on top. And, that's one of the first is in there.
Yep.
But I use 3 in there, the 2, the 3, and the 8. 3 is, by curling. You got to throw that one in. Race number 8, 2 for me. My top pick is the number 5, and that is Carollo in race number 8. Race number 9, that one off the turf, going 3 deep in there. I'm going to tell you about Popstar coming out of that Monster Key race, but I used a couple other horses. And I think race number 9, you got to go with Roxy. I'm hoping in the number 8 horse in there, My Thrill. So I think those might be the logical 2. 57.60. You don't usually go that high when it's 100 grand, but I'm thinking maybe I can score with this one today.
I would maybe wager a beverage of your choice, coconut water or Pellegrino or something, that there might be a single or two out there. This is not an easy sequence by the time we get to race number 10 today.
Well, I'm going to start it off, Brian, with the number 9 Reproach. And this is Son of Blame. He's making his 3-year-old debut for trainer Todd Pletcher. He gets LASIK. You see his race. He stalked. He faded. He was 5th on the dirt up in Tampa in December. You say, oh, my goodness. They ran him at Tampa. There wasn't much there. But then you look hard. He's 23% with the layoff. Amazingly, he's 23% with maidens making his second start. And also 23% with the class drop. So I'm thinking maybe this horse can run well today. I liked him a little bit better on the turf, of course, of breeding-wise. He's bred up and down for the grass, as I see it. But maybe this one can run today. So that's why I used this horse on top. Yes, my long shot, but maybe not as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't agree with any of that.
No, I don't agree with any of that. I was
shaking his head out talking.
I don't think I'd like him in a match race for 12-5. I don't know.
You just put him into the winner's circle.
I probably did. Dennis is going to be running to bet on as soon as I get done here. He's at Tampa.
Right.
He doesn't take an ounce of money.
Right.
He doesn't run. Now he's in for 35. They wanted to try turf. He's got no works over 4 furlongs. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
That Zany horse, later on, we'll talk about that too. That's very odd to me. Listen, he's dropping. He's getting LASIK. That's very important, but no, not for me.
He beat Zany in that thing. We'll show you that replay.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
He did, yeah. Well, I don't know how good Zany is yet, but, approach looked pretty game to me. Number 7, Abrahamovich, right?
Yes.
Is your pick in here. This one, Ken Sweetie, as you mentioned, good to see him back. This one hasn't been seen since October.
Yeah, so I'm guessing here too, but the works are certainly pretty sharp. I like that. Gelding, LASIK, they've bet this horse. He's got form. I have a lot of respect for Kent in the barn. Hey, Marcos Meneses is here. Good stakes win yesterday in the Aventura. That was cool to see. This horse is working big. He's not in for the tag. He takes the waiver, so they don't want to lose him. I think that's significant as well. We'll see with him, Ron.
I think you got to look at Replevin in here with the drop and the Tapeta. I think you got to use this horse. Big difference now with going to the Tapeta for this horse.
Replevin is we talk about this a lot with the surface switch. Here's your biggest move-up horse, right? He's a good third in a maiden special weight on Tapeta last time. Now he's got a lot of hang in him, it looks like. 0 for 14, 7 seconds and 3/3. So we'll see. I'm going to update my picks. I'm going to have the 3 and 4th, Ron. That's D'Angelo's also got the 4. The 3 Dream Dancer debuts at 5 on the Tapeta. Runs pretty good, beaten less than 3 lengths. He's a big player. City of Light on the top of this pedigree. He wants to run a lot longer than 5.5, 5 furlongs, excuse me.
And you come back as a gelding.
Love it.
Love that part. So that is race number 5, and that is the first leg of the Rainbow Six. Now, when we go to race number 6 today, it's going to be a sprint at 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta to starter optional claimer, and it is for fillies and mares 3-year-olds up with a scratch of the number 4 Lita. And we got Samantha's late pick 5 tickets, which will pop up right now. See what she's doing. Here she's singling Amour Ye Control right off the grip. We'll talk about that race. Race number 7, you got to go deep in there. She's got 4. Race number 8, she's got the logical ones, I think, with the 3 and the 5 Carollo, but she also used the number 4 horse in there, Triumph Road. 2 deep in race number 9 with the 1 Adderall. Looks like a major play with the surface switch. That one going to the Tapeta.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last, lots of coverage. She got the 4. I like Roxy.
Well, Roxy was the other Carlos David
Right.
that I didn't give the name of earlier because
Right.
I couldn't think of it.
Right.
But she was the one that didn't fire in that spot. Boy, she is. Let's just say the chances are adding up for old Roxy girl for Carlos and Brian Cohen.
You know, when you're a handicapper like like I'm supposedly supposed to be, I could never catch a more you control.
I'm not again. I'm not.
I'm
with
just
you.
telling you front out. You know, if I bet it,
Yeah.
it runs second. If I don't bet it, it wins. So I just want to put that out there. That old mare, you know what I mean?
I am with you, and what a job Liz Dobles has done with her, because she had rattled off a streak where she had finished first. She did get disqualified once, where she had finished first to the line in 7 straight, and then she lost. And then she lost. And then she lost. Still running well, but I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe she's a little over the top now. What happens last time? She bounces back with a win. She's a house horse. She's the female sprint version of Fly the W. She's 18 for 23 on the Tapeta on 10 wins.
Yeah, she's an incredible
So cool.
horse. I'm telling you. Edgar Zayas will be in the saddle. She's had, so we'll see here with Edgar riding, doing the inside post here. But you mentioned Viesta, and you're making a good point with this horse. She's always not going to last. Close from the parking lot, which you like. Going to be speed in here. What do you get?
And well, you're also going to get 9 pounds with Mia Nichols aboard from the one Amari Control. Willoughby Simpson's done a good job with this daughter of Clinton. She's going to run on late, as she always does. She will have to class up today. I quite frankly don't know if she can, but the flow of this race is going to really flatter her, and I think she can get a piece underneath, and that's what I'm going to try to do, because everybody's popping 1-7 in here, or maybe even 7-1, and there's your $9 exacta. I'll try to break it up a little bit.
Yeah,
that's
let's
all.
show that race wood, because I wanted to mention Happy Rod. You're going to see Happy Rod is cruising on the lead that day until she was caught.
Well, that's the other thing, Ron. That's a great point, because right here, if you're Happy Ride and you're Laura Cazares, you're like, oh, we've got this race in the bag. We got a really, really good filly. She's free rolling on the lead, and this is a winning recipe, sprinting on the Tapeta. And lo and behold, she just couldn't see it out over Amori Control, who was kind of tracking her, but was never that close. And they throw down here in the lane. This is one of those old, shouldn't be a loser, but that's not how it typically works in racing. Well clear of Warda, who I think, in hindsight, Ronnie, Warda's a little over the top.
Yeah. She could always clunk up for a part, Water, but this race was just so good. 7-7-1-7, 6-7, excuse me, right to the wire, of course. The 7-1, and I had the 6, so that's what I was talking about. Not being able to catch, but not being able to catch that horse. Now, as Brian said, just an excellent job by the connections. You're really, really good. Race number 7 is going to be a 7-furlong sprint. These are maiden, and they are fillies, 2-year-olds. There's no scratches. Right? This is probably the most intriguing race on the whole card today, and it kicks off your late pick 4.
A championship meet kind of maiden race for 2-year-olds, no doubt about it. Let's take a look at it. I'll go 4 deep here. I didn't have that strong of opinion, except against Zany. Race 8 is my best bet, and that is the 5 Criollo on a big drop for Antonio. Race number 9 now, again, off the turf there, and a big scratch of the Speed Love, actually, and the best horse of the race as well. So I moved this around a little bit. Lido Beach on top for me, the 6 horse. And in race number 7, I'm just really against Roxy. I'm not going to play a ticket without her, use her defensively, but I'm on the 7 and I'm on the 8. That's actually my long shot. Daisy Domer Goo, the homebred for Shikandas and Gonzalez.
Domer Goo.
How about that?
Yeah, I like the name there.
Yeah. Did you go to school there?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a wild one. Now, we got a couple of interesting, as I said, there's such an interesting race. So we'll start with Brian's top pick in here, the number 5. Then we'll show you a couple of these workouts of these other first-time starters in here.
Lagina. Nice little pedigree here. Leinster, we know how hot that he's been as a precocious freshman sire. 3 for 7 Dam, who won her debut. This is a half to Diamond Cool. We knew pretty well around here for Patrick and the connections. None of the other 3 foals that raced won on debut. Normally, I would say, okay, that's a thing. I don't care about this barn. Has just been so good, Ron, all year, with 2-year-olds, with first-time starters, with Jonathan Ocasio. Just check the tote board here, see what's going on. You want to see this horse taking some money in this spot.
Yeah, he's just been incredible, and now Jonathan Ocasio has been riding his number 1 horses in the barn, and so he's going to be there today. The other couple, I went with the number 2 on top, and this is My Miss Mo, and this one from Safi Joseph Jr. This is the one we have one of these morning workouts to show.
I was stunned, Ron, that we found 2 workouts on these horses. So Thank you to XBTV for coming up with it. Now, Lady Lullaby is nothing at all,
Right.
okay? My Miss Mo, she's on the outside. She's an Uncle Mo filly. They paid $320 for. The dam was 1 for 3. She finished second. She broke her maiden in her second start. So she dusts Lady Lullaby the way you should, because Lady Lullaby is turning into a cheap maiden claimer. First foal out of this dam. Again, she wasn't much, but she was kin to 4 horses that earned over $150,000. It's Safi, it's Edgard, it's Avro Racing. I feel like she'll be your favorite in here because they're going to bet this horse, and I think she can run. I'm not sure about your horse.
Yeah, $320,000 they jumped in and bought this horse for. So, and then we have the, let's go to the number 3 horse near Curly Sue, which you have a stat on. This is Jose D'Angelo's horse, and it's, as I mentioned, by Curlin.
Yeah, so here's Jose, 2 firsters in here, okay? The 3 Curly Sue, the 7 Sovereign Gold. Both of them are owned by our friends at More Play Racing. They like to bet their horses. Watch the tote board here. See which one is favored in that. The only reason I made the 3 favored on the line over the 7 is because these works of late match up, and that work on August the 22nd, the gate drill, it sure looks like the 3 got a lot better than the 7, excuse me. That's all I've got for you, and that's not a factual statement. I don't know that, but they all match up.
Yeah, so we'll see what that is. And like I mentioned, with the stat, does that help you make your mind up in that particular race? The other horse that you wanted to show was the 8 Zany.
Yeah.
And the replay. And you could see who is on the inside, none other than Reproach.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So you got to watch Reproach early. Now, Reproach is now a $35,000 maiden claimer.
Right.
So this is worrisome to me for Zany because, you know, he
looked like he was going to go by, right?
Yeah, and he looks like he's... She, excuse me, thank you. Looks like she's laboring a little to go by a horse who's now in for 35 today. This is a colt, though, on the inside. We'll at least, you know, give him that. You know, we just have to be upfront about these things. Zany has been at Monmouth all summer. That is the B team for Todd Fletcher. The A team is at Saratoga. There's no 5 furlong drills for Zany. I makes no sense to me. Nice pedigree. Mo Green, we knew around here at Gulfstream. Mo Green was good. She won the Grade 3 top flight. She was 4 for 14, took 2 starts to break her maiden. The other 3 foals, not much. None of them won on debut. I know Edgard's going to ride for Safi, so, you know, Misil's great. We don't have no problem with that. I just think this is a fade horse to me today, and it wouldn't shock me if maybe she's even a little higher than 7-2.
And then you got the old previous experience angle with both the number 1 Tavarine Much and the number 4 Win Bet Only. So do you go with experience, or do you throw them on the bottom of your tickets or something like that?
I'll tell you what, the one's 15-1 on the morning line. She was 6-5 last time. Okay, you're probably thinking like, what the heck's that all about? They were state breds. It was a wildly slow race for the level. The horse that actually beat her is the 4, as you said, Ronnie, Win Bet Only. She was 25-1 last time. Unless these firsters from these big time championship meet connections can't run, these horses can't do anything in here.
We're going to go to race number 8 this afternoon, and we'll turn all these pages over. It's a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. It's a claimer, and these are 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. No scratches in this race this afternoon. Brian, the number 5 we both talked about, Carollo, is the only 3-time winner in the field.
3-time winner, likes Tapeta, huge class drop. Now, I know these races, with the exception of the Saratoga Turf Race, they've all been against 3-year-olds. I promise you, Mom's Martini, the filly, Iron Hand, these horses would be 3-5 in this race. Criollo, time for you to win one, buddy.
Number 3, Looking for Roses, is looking to make amends after coming up empty as the favorite at the same level as time out for Safi. Micah Husbands is going to jump aboard.
Got that good, bad race. It says today you'll get a good race out of him. I don't fully trust him, but, you know, that race 2 back would give him a big chance here.
You know, you could go with Dixie Preach, or like you did, the one Nanette Stone Cole Flex in 3rd.
Just someone in third. I mean,
Yeah,
Stone
yeah.
Cold Flex. See, hey, there's two 2L winners last time. Stone Cold Flex and Triumphant Road, the 4. Hey, they come in off wins. They were all out to do it. Pretty fast race last time by Stone Cold Flex. I will say that.
If you're looking for a closer, maybe you look at Dixie Preach, trained by Catherine Davy.
Yeah.
Another person I can never catch, and she lets me know about
And
it.
she lets you know about it.
Each and every time.
Every time.
Race number 9 this afternoon was originally going to go 5 on the grass. Now going to go 5 on the all-weather Tapeta. It's an allowance optional claimer. And these are state-bred fillies and mares 3 and up. Scratched, as Brian mentioned, the speed of the speed there. A little bit of a nut job, but runs well. It's love, actually. And number 8, the Dove Rules. So let me tell you about Pop Style, okay?
Yeah.
Pop Style is making a first start. She finished third, what turned out to really to be a monster $75,000 optional claiming race in June that has produced 4 next out winners from 5 starters. Laura Cesar, I think, spots this one against state breds perfectly today. Be honest, I liked it a little bit more on the turf, but I think coming out of that key race, I think you know, good connections. You know, the Colonel Corn, Golden Colonel Corn people. I think maybe this one can run.
You know, her only 2 wins are on Tapeta.
Right.
My worries are running style. They are
Right.
going to go pretty fast
Yeah.
in here. She's going to be out the back probably. But, you know, like you said, that's a big-time race. Luna Luska and Coco Barrio come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but when you look at the 6, looks like a major player with the surface, which is Lido Beach.
Exactly, Ron. And she did well to draw outside some of the other speed. Chosen Factor, Big Ben. I don't know about Big Ben Louisiana's cutting back.
Yeah.
She won't be on the lead in here. You know, Edgard's got a perfect post. She's got a good Tapeta record in races. And she's one that's, to me, I know it looks like those are optional claimers, but those races, to me, better, even though they're state-bred allowance horses.
And add to the Roars, who Samantha used on there, comes out in a pretty good race, produced a couple of next out winners, but is way back in March. But it's Victor Barboza Jr.
Boy, she likes to burn money. Huh?
Yeah.
She just never really wins. She's got the same running style as Pop Style. That's a tough one to get first on the Tapeta.
Race number 10, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. And don't forget that the number 9 horse in your game, Changer Jolie, will race without front shoes in that race. So you might want to mark that down. And Brian, you started off with the number 7 in your long shot today, Daisy Domergue.
It's as much I'm not picking Roxy as I'm trying to get a long shot. Total stab here, okay? Total stab. She ran okay on debut. She chased a little bit and tired. She took a little money. A lot of times you see these Chicken-Daz homebreds at big numbers, and they don't run an inch. She was okay. She was 5-1 that day. We'll put the blinkers on. Amicio Road, he says, absolutely, I'll come back for you. 24% riding for Gonzalez. I think she does move up today. If it doesn't matter, well, that remains to be seen, Ron.
What I liked about Roxy putting this one on top, you see that was for 25. They put the blinkers on last time, the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Didn't do well. Taking them right off again today. So I'm thinking, and the drop, I'm thinking maybe that this horse is going to run well this afternoon. We got a replay that we want to show you with Vanessa's Wish in here.
Yep.
And let's see what that's about.
Just remember, Plum Irish in race 3. That's who won the Roxy race last time. Remember what she does.
Right.
And proceed accordingly. Big race here for Vanessa's Wish. She's another that doesn't like winning. 0 for 10, 4 seconds and 2/3, but she's a game runner-up here under Dalia Rivera. Now we get another apprentice aboard today, Yolbert Torres. Good post position, good running style, beaten just 3/4 of a length. She's got some try in her run. The problem is she doesn't have enough try in her. I am hard-headed. We all know that.
Right.
But I just can't put these kind of horses on top.
Well, we'll see how that one runs this afternoon, And when it's a game, I think you can run this okay there. I mean, I didn't have it on top of my ticket either,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to show that race. I actually have the horse in 4th for all the reasons you just mentioned. You know what? We got a sire stat we want to show you with Pretty Geisha. This is First Samurai. Interested to see what this is with Jack Sisterson's horse.
Yeah, this is an interesting horse, Pretty Geisha. I don't know if they're going to bet this horse or not. First Samurai, 19% turf sprints. That's pretty good, actually.
Right.
For a horse that was a crack 2-year-old that didn't want 5.5 furlongs. That's for sure. Jack has not, I'm going to assume, had this horse very long.
Right.
He got to work in this horse at Palm Meadows, and it was a pretty good work. Blinkers go on today. Sometimes they bet Jack's horses. Check this out a little bit. She's kind of sort of interesting. Ronnie, the horse that's really going to move forward today is the one we have in second, Mithril.
Yeah.
Mithril is going to run big today. Don't be surprised if she she beat Plum, she beat Roxy last time.
I think the drop is really going to help her.
Yep.
So that's the 10 for us. As we mentioned, if you didn't just joining us now, we're off the turf today. Those grass races go to the Tapeta, but we are not done. We have the multiple award-winning lightning round coming up right now, and it's a good one because we had a couple of really nice races yesterday.
Yeah, really, really good efforts and nice races. None more so than the Grade 3 win You're in Princess Rooney. It was 1 year ago that Soul of an Angel won that race, and it was about, 46 weeks ago where she won the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint. We talk about flow, we talk about pace, and the makes the race, and this race was over after a quarter mile.
Yeah.
They just said, haul and ice, you go ahead. No one's going to run with her at all for some reason, and this is what happens when you let a really good horse that's now the all-time money earner in Arkansas-bred history get loose on the front end. I mean, she was literally 2-5 after a quarter mile.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, of course, we had that 5-horse in there that was from my racehorse, and couldn't beat the 40-1 set. So I'm thinking everybody behind that horse, you're going to give a second look to.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the ones that did make up a little ground, I agree with there. And C2, part of the Soul of an Angel last year as well. They do it again. So congratulations to all the connections there. And we'll see what remains to be seen if she'll head out to Del Mar or not.
Yeah, we got another one we want to show you. Now, this one was interesting, this race.
This was the old pace makes the race, right?
Yeah,
Because the two huge favorites hooked up a wild second quarter, as Pete said it, and they were drunk soldiers in the lane. They had, look at them, staggering home. And who's sitting back? That's Wayne's Law, cagey ride by Marcos Meneses as he watched everything unfold in front of him. And, we did speculate this could happen.
Right,
I didn't think it would. I put him in second. Big effort here, and I think the exciting thing is, and I asked Marcos this, if this is a horse that's by Tis the Law out of a Harlan's Holiday mare, so, that is a 2-turn pedigree through and through. I think the two big favorites, A, they got exposed a little bit, B, we got to cut back.
Well, we had a couple of other interesting stakes on the card, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were off the turf stakes, but Asher's Edge, a little mild surprises in the Humphrey, and then the Ginger Punch a little later on. This was cool. The winner's circle was robust here for Asher's Edge and Dave Fox, and actually you caught up with the connections out there.
Yeah, and the first thing he said to me is we did a rain dance all day. This one, 6 for 7 in the money on the all-weather Tapeta, and you just sat up and, sat off the pace and just closed. It was much the best with the surface switch.
Dominant win there, and then, of course, Leo Toro. Boy, we were all rooting for Starship and Impulsive just because she's such a cool horse.
Yeah,
but with
couldn't
that,
get there.
you couldn't get there, and with that being said, they could have run around 3 more times. She would not have gotten there. Game win by Leo Toro. Safi's got her going good off the claim. This was her first Tapeta start as well.
Yeah, amazing. She ran well. That race was, I think, was 4/5 off the track record with that one or the other one. That horse ran fast. So
no doubt about it.
Your best bet is it still in there?
Yeah, Criollo, short number in race number 8.
I don't know. Mine was for the turf. I don't know if they put it up hop style. I'm still going to do it.
Right.
Even though it's going to the Tapeta, I like it.
Yeah.
Long shot for you today.
Going to keep you all the way till 5:36 in the p.m. with Daisy Domergue.
I like the name, and my long shot is in, it's race number 5, Reproach, who Brian absolutely hates, so we'll see how that plays out this afternoon. We got about 20 minutes before the first race post, but we're not, we're done. Mantha's going to be here, but Pete is just going to pick it up and give you all the changes you need.